as I'm suffering because my kids are out there not knowing what I'm going through here, put yourself in my shoes that your child that you've not seen for the past 3 years plus comes to see you, paid his fare all the way from England to come and see my mom, and then is behind the wall.
Brought you into this facility?
Thank you for giving me this opportunity to share my problems, I'll say, to the world. My name is Movies Akan, 59 years of age. I come from the Kubolor district, specifically from Sra, from Narrates house. I had this problem with two friends actually. One I have known for like 30 years. The other one I just know through this one. The issue is about land. They were selling land to somebody. The one I have known for 30 years was to take me somewhere that fateful day. But I was calling and I was not getting through. Finally, he calls me and he was like, I was in a meeting with some people. That's why I didn't pick up your call. Apparently, the person I was meeting with happens to know you. When I see you, I'll tell you more about it. I said, fine. Then we meet. He tells me about the person. This is somebody who have known me as a child because my father was working under them. I used to go to the office, ran from office to office. Everybody knows me. I said, oh yes, I know this person. I said, okay, I'm going to call him and say, confirm that it's the same person who thinks he knows that I was talking to. The whole thing was about them selling a land to him and him having a little bit of doubt whether the deal would go through as he wants or not. But because I came in, it's like I know her, I trust her. If he can vouch for you people that, well, these are good people, the deal will go through. There's no problem. So I said, well, fine. He calls me and he finds out if I know them. Truly, I said, yes. I know one person for 30 years. So I think that's enough to say you know something.
How well did you know this person?
I know him too well. I know where he lives, I know his wife, I know his kids.
His character?
I thought I knew his character.
So what
There's
happened?
a question mark about the character.
So what happened eventually?
Eventually, I accepted to vouch for them, take the memorandum of understanding, collected the said amount.
How much was involved?
$100,000.
$100,000.
Yes. And gave it to them.
Before you decided to accept that engagement, did you have an interest, because vouching for someone tune of $100,000, were you not going to benefit at least from it?
Benefiting aspect that made me to say, fine, I'll do it. Because I asked him, what's in it for me? He said, we'll give you $10,000. And I thought, wow, I'll get up from home one morning and just go say yes and get $10,000. Anybody would jump to that. aspect.
So you accepted that. But
so I accepted,
did you have any, any idea as to whether the person in question, which you claim you know very well?
At that point, I didn't.
Right, but did you know he had a land somewhere?
This is not the first time I've heard him saying he's selling a land. Because that day, where he was taking me, it's a land I wanted to buy. And he was going to show me if I like it. So I believe he sells land.
Right. So you took the $100,000. Why didn't you take your portion, $10,000, but decided to give the $100,000 to the person straight away?
He said he's not the only person selling the land. He's involved with 5 others. So I said, fine, he needs to talk to them, show them that, yes, I've collected their money for them. That's the $10,000 that they will give. I didn't have time to follow them to... I believe he will get my $10,000 and bring it to the money that he's going to meet his colleagues and they discuss about it, and then he will take my part and bring it to me. I called him the same day. I didn't hear any good news. I just thought, well, fine, you've not seen them, you've not seen them. The second day, I was expecting he would call me and then he would bring me my $10,000. I didn't hear from him. I called him the Thursday. He had something he told me about how they were having differences. Part was saying the 10,000 was so much, others were saying it's okay. So they were having misunderstanding, yes, between them, which I just believed. He never brought me my $10,000. It's one story after the other, and then I thought, well, fine, I'll let it go. This $10,000 is not my life.
Right, let me take you back a bit. When the man in question who wanted the land gave you the $100,000, did you sign in undertaking that
anything.
You have taken $100,000 from him?
When I got to him, he was busy. He said he was going to a meeting at the castle. He was late. I was stuck in traffic for so long, so I didn't get there at the set time. I was a bit late. So it was like, he was ready, take it, we'll talk later. And I just took it. I didn't even sit.
Did the person know you, the one who gave the $100,000?
Yes.
He knew you personally?
Yes.
You trusted it?
Yes.
That's why he gave you the $100,000?
Yes, he had known me before I can remember.
Right, so he didn't bother, pushing you to an undertaking?
No, there was nothing like
so
that.
So what happened with the $100,000 when you gave it to them?
I don't know what they did with it. I wasn't with them. All I was interested in is my $10,000 because that was what I was promised, and I thought a promise is a debt.
Okay, so you didn't get $10,000.
I didn't get my $10,000.
That is fine, but why should you be here in prison for that? You have handed $100,000 to them. They claim they have a land. Why should you be here?
They resold the land. They sold the land again to another person. So the person started building. I had no idea about it. I didn't know they have resold the land again. They sold the land, and the second person started building faster than probably this one wanted. So there was a problem about it. The police were involved, and they were looking for me. The guy was looking for me. When he didn't see those, he was trying to call them, and nothing was coming out of it. He started looking for me. My name was mentioned at the East Legon police station. I didn't know about it. This thing happened like 3 months after they arrested me. I was going about my business. I didn't bother. I have totally forgotten about them. I thought, let the 10,000 go. Fine. One day I had to drop a friend at East Legon. He came to me and I had to drop him to go and pick up his car from the mechanic. I drove past and I think they spotted my car. He followed me. I stopped over to buy Ghallywood. And he came and tapped on my shoulders. Are you maybe Sakuno? Arrogantly I answered, who wants to know? Then he puts his hand in his pocket. He shows me the idea. As soon as he did this, I was like, what's this? What is it about? They say when we get to the station, you will know.
What came into your mind at that particular moment?
I couldn't put my mind on anything. I least suspected that this land thing is why they were arresting me. I had no idea. Then, on the spur of the moment, I just told him that, listen, I'll come on my own. He said, oh no. I said, if you're scared that I won't come, in my glove compartment, I have some money there. Let me give it to you and believe that I will come. Then he looked at me and he said, no, I just want you to come with me to the station. I said, fine. I took my kelewele. Instead of me to get back into my driver's seat and drive, he said I should be in the passenger seat and he would drive. It was from that point I got to know that
there was trouble.
Something serious is coming my way. So I got into the car, we drove to East Legon police station. I came out and there was, at the counter, you could see everybody was just looking at me. And still I'm like, what is going on? Then a lady, police, raised up the counter and said I should take a seat there, that somebody would come and talk to me. So I sat. She greeted me and she said everything will be fine, I shouldn't worry. I said, I don't think everything is fine. Then an inspector came and invited me into his office. And straight away, he asked me if I know this person. I said yes. It was when he mentioned if I know this person, my stomach turned. I panicked. I said yes, I know the person. They said, lately, have I had any dealings with him? I said yes. He said, what was it all? Then I told him how it all started up to that day that I was sitting in his office. And he said, well, he made a complaint here that he gave me money with some people about a land, and this is what has happened. So he saw that I was shivering. So he said, I will keep you for tonight. Just be calm, relaxed, and tomorrow morning we will talk.
What came into your mind, keeping you tonight?
Yes, so I said, can't I call somebody to come and bail me, and then tomorrow morning I will come? And he said, oh no, that he can only do that after taking a statement from me. And he is not ready to do it now. So I said, okay. I said, can I make a phone call for somebody to at least come and pick up my car? He said, no problem. Gives me my phone. I made a call. So the person who came for my car was like, what is it? I told him the whole story. They said, oh, but where is the inspector? He wants to speak with him. They said he's gone home. He goes with my car. The following, in the middle of the night, like 10, 11, the man came.
You don't want to mention that man's name?
No. Then I heard the cell door open. I stood up. And then he looked at me and he greeted me. He smiles. Then the inspector asked me, do I know him? And I said, yes. What's his name? I mentioned his name. Then he goes away. Then the inspector said, that is why I'm here. I said, okay. So the following morning, around 10 in the morning, he comes and he takes me into his office, wanting to know exactly what happened. I told him everything to the best of my knowledge, how I know it happened. And he said, okay, do you know where we can find these people? I started giving numbers that I know. I gave the address. He went there that same afternoon. He told me the whole place was locked up. He saw a security person and he said, oh, his boss has been away for 2 days, that they are not in. So that's a house in Dansoma where he lives.
What's the name of this person who put you into this kind of trouble? You claim put you in this kind of trouble.
JBOC.
JBOC, what does he do?
He's a businessman. He's been a businessman for a long time. I know he is into land acquisitions. He builds and he sells.
So you took the police around, you know, all the places
all this.
you could locate JBOC. JBOC was nowhere to be found.
No.
So what happened?
Well, finally I was taken to court. The first day I got into court, they took my plea. I pleaded not guilty. Then we were given a date. When we came back to the station, the police said he wants to have a word with me. And he spoke with me at length. And he said if I change my plea, he told me I will be given a fine instead of being sentenced or whatever. I'll be given a fine. So I thought, well, if I could just pay my fine and go home, why not?
Where were you going to get the money to pay the fine, $100,000, if you were to be fined 20,000 or 30,000, whatever? Where were you going to get the money?
He gave me a specific amount that I'll be fined between 20,000 cedis.
20,000 Ghana cedis. The CID,
Ghana
the
cedis,
CID
yes.
is not a judge.
And,
how could he determine that?
Between 10 and 20.
How could he determine that?
You know, they give you the impression that they work hand in hand with the judges, the court clerks, the prosecutors, so they have idea. As a matter of fact, at a point I wanted to have a lawyer, and he wanted to introduce a lawyer to me, that he works with this lawyer and he's done several cases with him. But on the second thought, I also have lawyers. I know lawyers. I know a lot of lawyers I could have. So I said no, I don't want that. Because if I'm going to be fined, why go into the system of wasting money with lawyers and all that? So I went to court the next adjourned date, and I raised up my hand. The judge asked me, do I have something to say? I said yes. And I changed my plea to guilty. At that point...
Did you understand the implications of saying you were guilty? Did you understand that?
Not into details.
But you were convinced by what the CID
Yes.
said. You easily trusted. You got yourself into trouble. And then you knew you weren't guilty of the offense because the money did not even come to you. But the CID asked you to say you were guilty. And then without thinking of the ramifications, you went to change your plea from not guilty to guilty. Was the judge surprised in any way?
The judge was surprised, but why I believe what the CID said, it made sense. Because I received the money. The man gave the money to me before I gave it to them. For all you know, maybe I didn't even give it to them. Maybe I received this money and along the line, I went away with the money. The man didn't know. He was dealing with them, but it was me who came in the final and took the money.
So did you understand?
That's why I thought, well, then I was guilty.
In that context?
In that context. So if he's saying that if I plead guilty, she will give me a fine, and that will be the end of story, I believed him.
So you pleaded guilty?
Yes.
And what happened?
And I was sentenced 10 years.
You were sentenced?
To
10 years. And how many years have you been here?
I've been here 3 years, 7 months.
3 years, 7 months, which means you still have some time to go. Yes. What have you learned in prison?
I've learned so much. You see, growing up was so easy for me. I grew up as a rich kid who doesn't give a damn about anything. To me, everything, you just snap your fingers and it's done.
Were your parents rich? Were you from a rich home?
Yes. And that got to me growing up. But now, being here, I've learned a lot. You meet up with a lot of people, different characters from different backgrounds, and you learn things from them. Here I am, I find myself on an island. Nobody around me. My kids are not here.
Where are your kids?
My kids are outside the country. I have 2 in the United States and I have 2 in the UK.
Have they visited you?
Yes. Twice they have come. A year into my sentence, the third one came. And
how was it like? You had
easy.
The comfort of your home. You are here now. Your kids come. That emotionalism. How was it like?
It was not easy. I even control it better than my son. He couldn't talk. We didn't talk at all. I was in tears. I left whatever he brought for me and he went.
What is your advice to people who may find themselves in a similar situation that you are finding yourself in now?
My advice to people is, in life, if you have not made a mistake, it means you've not tried anything new. We all product of our own past, but we don't have to be prisoners of it. As I am suffering because my kids are out there not knowing what I'm going through here, put yourself in my shoes that your child that you've not seen for the past 3 years plus comes to see you, paid his fare all the way from England to come and see my mom, and then is behind the wall. Then the mom is upstairs in some window talking to him across. I want society to know that being out there, everything is not rosy. You don't know where you will step, that it will give you the biggest problem in life. I never knew I would find myself here because I have everything at my beck and call. But here I am today, going through life very, very hard. Very hard. You are here, you don't know, you feel like drinking a bottle of Coke, but you won't get it. I can't just get up here and say I want to buy a bottle of Coke. No. Even if you are holding the 2 CDs in your hands, who will buy it for you? An officer who said, let me buy it for you, could be charged because she's trafficking with you. This is where I find myself. I've learned a lot, and I'm giving it out to young ones coming to know that all is not rosy.
Now, on the issue of trust, finally, trusting people, what advice?
Trust. When I came, the first few months, I was not talking to people because I don't know what I would say to you. And the next thing is I'm being called at administration that you said this, you said that. I don't trust anybody, not even my shadow.
Faith in God. Faith in God since coming to prison. I'm not sure whether you were strict, whether you followed God that strictly whilst out there. Would you say your faith in God has deepened after going through all these difficulties?
Yes.
How?
Yes. I'm now a diploma Bible student. When I was out there, Sundays I go to church if I feel like. But here, every day, you hear the word. Every day.
Every day.
Every day. Every day, you hear the word of God. My faith in God has strengthened.
What do you want to do after you are eventually released from prison?
To be honest with you, I want to go out there and be with my kids. See to my grandchildren. I don't think after this experience I'd like to live in Ghana again. I just want to get out here, get the next available flight and be out. Yes.
So you heard it all. But the most important thing that we could possibly have control of is what we are blessed with. The free will, the opportunity that God has given to us. If you are not careful and you mess up with that opportunity, this could be your home. So let's take a cue from Madame Akono.
I regret being a prisoner today because to be in condemned prison, because I can be able to work and do something for the government or to the country and to my family. But as I'm here today, what am I going to do? I can't do anything.
Most often we forget that the distance between our home and our potential second home, a prison, is very, very close.
The prison is everybody's second home.
You'll be sleeping 97 people in a room. I pray I don't go to hell.
Why?
For the hell on earth is enough.
It could be you, it could be your wife, it could be your daughter or son. We are pleading that whoever has he or her freedom right now, value that freedom.
We are taking our campaign to schools, churches, mosques, communities, and other trouble spots across the country. Support the National Stop Crime campaign to deter crime.